Hello from California. This is your how-to girl, Jill Billingsley, and thank you all models, Model Mayhem, photographers for all their positive feedback. I'm sorry I haven't been in the game for a while. I've been busy with a move, been busy settling in, working, casting videos, and now that I have more downtime, I can do more of these how-to videos and just start off with a really easy one. I'm gonna do a how to piss off your photographer. Every once in a while, you end up just meeting somebody that you don't vibe well with, and you wonder, how can I deter from the shoot happening again? How do I say no, but I'm too polite? I'm gonna give you 8 surefire tips to discourage being hired a second time around from a photographer, or just to piss them off. Number 8, we'll do a countdown style. If you come across a photographer that's like upper echelon, amazing pictures, and you're just starting off, or even you're well established, but his book's significantly better than yours, instead of asking for rates, just asking for TFP might be enough to upset a photographer. Basically, what you're doing is insinuating that they don't deserve to be paid for their time and effort. If they get back to you with a quote and you respond, "Oh, that's so much money," or "How come photographer B charges $800 less than you?" Usually that will also help in offending them, ensuring that they don't book you. If for whatever reason this is okay with them, you both decide to do TFP, which is time for print, then once you're on the set, there's a bunch of things you can do to upset that photographer. I like to only provide negative feedback. That is my tip number 7. As soon as you walk in, the more negative your attitude, the better. Oh, the set looks shitty. I hate the color blue. This looks really cheap. I hope you know what to do with this. And often a photographer will show you behind the camera to see images as you're going along, or it will be tethered to the computer. If while you're looking at those images and the negative feedback's just, I hate this, next, ugly, gross, no, I'm not liking anything, that's going to be a pretty good way to ensure that photographer won't enjoy the rest of the day. The photographer's also going to be uneasy. It's probably going to make for a shorter photo shoot. And actually, in reality, just a side note, if you do not like something about a photo, some honesty is good. Not even some, just constructive honesty is good. I will often tell a photographer, and I'm usually only focusing on myself, not the whole composition of the image. I'll say, I don't like this feature about myself. The shading on me, I feel, is unflattering. And then the photographer might actually really like that shading, but can kind of tweak the lights so it's not so strong on the feature that I don't like about myself, but it's still whatever they were envisioning. So some honesty does work to your favor, depending on the project. Okay, the 6th tip you can do to piss off a photographer is bring in as much uninvited company as possible. Maybe you have an opinionated aunt, boyfriend, stage mom, basically anybody to talk over the photographer that's really hands-on will be one way to rustle feathers, which actually does come up a lot, as well as children. More children, why don't you take a babysitting gig while you're going to work? And if worst case scenario, you can't find anybody to assist you on your photo shoot, maybe you could just pop up a Skype conversation so somebody can be watching you while you're working. And then I do say everything in jest, but I actually do record a lot while I'm working and try to bring people, so 5. This is my favorite expression to use, and photographers will also vouch that they love it too. Just take care of that in Photoshop. If you have bad nails, don't bother painting them, just take care of it in Photoshop. If you have one little piece of hair coming up, sure, the hairstylist can come and pat it down. Maybe it takes a second of your time, but that's my time. I want that second. Why should I sacrifice a second of my time when you can just take the 15 minutes it takes? Just edit it out in Photoshop. I try to say that at least 6 times on a photo shoot to really ensure that I'm not going to get hired again. Now that the photo shoot's finished, you think there's nothing else you can do to piss off that photographer, I've got good news for you. there's still a chance. There's 4 chances actually. Cropping. Now that you have an image you like, but there's a tree in it, sure, that photographer took a lot of time thinking of composition, they're thinking of foreground, background, lighting, negative space. They probably put in anywhere in between 1 to 14 hours on that image. You can just, screw that tree. Let's focus on straight on an eye. Now it's the focus, it's your favorite part of your body, and you cropped out their tag, they love that, and there you have it. That's probably, even if you had a good photo shoot, it might be enough to upset a photographer to not hire you again. If for whatever reason it's not enough, luckily Instagram, lots of phones have apps where you can just put filters on your images. Even a small filter, even black and white, usually will upset a photographer, but one filter that completely takes away all the details of your face really negates the fact that they put any effort into your image at all, which will ensure that they don't hire you again. The second tip I can give you, just ask for a bunch of raw, unedited images. Usually that will upset them. Often you might receive 4 or 5 images for maybe a 3-hour photo shoot. Sure, there might be an image that you will love in there that they kind of didn't like, and you might like it so much that you post it repetitively everywhere. Your agency posts it. Sure, it's their artwork that's being displayed with their name attached, but you dig it, so you gotta stand up for yourself and show them who's boss. If they're still easygoing about all of this, try to think of the bigger picture. Why only upset your photographer when there's a whole team you could upset? And the best, quickest way to do it is just don't credit anybody, ever. Sure, there's a hairstylist, wardrobe stylist, makeup artist, the photographer. You're gonna post it on your Instagram. Don't credit any of them. This is all about number 1. I am the main focus. If you really make sure that everything's all about you, you might be lucky enough to not work with that whole team ever again. And if you follow these 8 super simple steps, you are well on your way to successfully not working again and being a really pompous model. If you want some good solid advice, you could just put this whole video as a do not, because most of the time you want the photographer to like you, and once you're in the business for a long time, they become your friends. And I really made the video because I have so many friends that are photographers, and I hear it all the time of things they don't like to do. And even I myself often do a few of these things, but you hope that you don't do them enough. You hope you don't do them at all. The less you do, the better. And that would be all for me. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope my friends don't get too upset at it. And I will be making more in the future.
Now don't forget to like and subscribe to my stupid channel.